What's up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. Today we are at the North Georgia Canopy Tours Lula Red Hawk course. Feel a little winded after that title there. But beautiful property. Very excited to play this course. Trying this one out for the first time this side of things. But before we dive in, have to ask, Leo, how you doing today? You having a good one?
So catch me if I fall.
Welcome in. We have Birdie Talks coming back to the channel, and I've got Jake here with me. This is my brother, Jake.
Oh, wow.
This is not first time on the channel. This is first time on the channel in a long time.
Yeah, got a couple more viewers now than you did last time.
I mean, it's probably first 10 videos on the
Oh,
channel.
yeah. It was super long time.
Yeah, the
2021.
first ever bag swap I did
Yeah.
is in Georgia with Jake. So here we go. We're doing Birdie Talks today, and Jake actually threw this idea out of, you know, you've done Birdie Talks, you've interviewed a lot of people. What if someone interviewed you? And I don't know that there's a more qualified person than you to do this interview.
Happy to do it.
So, welcome into my Birdie Talks. It feels really pretentious to say that. I don't love it. So I'm going to move fast.
That's where we're at.
Okay, all right, here we go.
All right, so question one.
Question one.
One of the standard questions. If you could steal any skill from any disc golf pro, who would it be and what?
It's not surprising. I'll take Vinny's, I'll take Calvin's low penetrating distance.
Yeah.
Like the ability he has to throw backhand shots, because he'll tell you he doesn't want to enter distance competitions because they throw 600 feet easily in those competitions.
Yeah.
Calvin is bad at throwing distance lines, but he still throws 600 feet. It's just,
Yeah, it doesn't go
his
right.
styles right.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Especially today we're playing in the woods. There's going to be a lot of ceilings.
Yes.
And I'd like to avoid all of them.
That sounds great.
So yeah, unsurprisingly we're going.
Heck yeah. I knew it was going to be something from Calvin.
I didn't just
I'll do that.
predictable.
Kind of 3 or 4 feet, almost dead even. You only got 3 feet of elevation change going up just a little bit. There's kind of junk on both sides, but you can see the basket from here. So if you're gonna miss, you want to miss long.
We're going 2 off first, gentlemen? For sure. Let's go.
There's a tree there.
Ooh.
Oh,
What he hit? There we go.
dead center.
There it is.
That's not going to stand up. I want it back.
It's up there. How can you have a Robbie C Birdie Talk and not have some flax in there?
Okay, hole 2. So
Special one.
when you get into something, I mean, your life motto, right? Go big or stay home. Hey, well, when you get into something, you really get into it. Think about gaming, got your whole rig, bowling, you got your awesome balls, shoes, summer league pass, all that good stuff.
Best deal in the world.
So when you get into a hobby, you get into it big time.
Yeah.
You don't really dabble in things. So what is a hobby that is what's your next hobby that you haven't gotten into yet, but you want to jump into it at first?
Well, okay, so I have an easy answer in that I know a hobby that I really want to get into, and I literally can't because of my brain just gets too distracted by it, and it's chess.
Okay.
Inside the board game world, right? We have to identify chess as being probably the most iconic board game.
Been around a while. Yeah. It's got some history.
And I think of Netflix had that Queen's Gambit show, and she's sleeping, and she's looking up at the ceiling, and there's just all the chess pieces moving. I had a chess phase at the beginning of high school, and I woke up with such terrible migraines because I was playing chess in my head.
A mental chess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I wish I could be into chess so bad, but I have such an addictive personality that it's it truly would feel like a drug to me.
Sure.
And that I can't turn it off, and therefore I have to walk away. So chess is my forbidden fruit.
Okay.
It's probably the better way to put it.
Okay.
I would say bowling right now is probably the one that I'm I can feel my toes. They're wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm on the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
And I'm just slipping in. The Summer Games Pass, y'all, you know what? No sponsors, but let me tell you. If you have a Bolero near you, this thing is nuts. Bolero, $35 for a summer pass from May 24th through September 2nd. 2 games a day. $35.
Hole 2. So 251. It's just up a little bit to the right. Just throw a nice kind of easy turnover shot.
Well, that forehand
whatever
hyzer seems like the
shooting
point.
a
We'll
backhand turnover.
Yeah, also great when you get there.
If you get it high enough.
Yeah, the forehand hyzer feels like I am going to
With the left to right slope, I think it would just go
down the hill. Yeah.
nice. Short, but
It's there. We're hitting 2 different trees. Short is fine. Oh, come on.
Oh.
Tapped it.
I like that pig.
Yep. Oh, wait, can you say that again? Leave ourselves a putt, because I think the more we tried to push it to have less of a putt, the more we brought more trees into play.
Bang, bang.
Hole 3, question 3. You spent a lot of time in the car, right? Driving to Lynchburg.
I do. I just told her
back. Yeah, I was gonna say, going over here and back. So you spent a lot of time in the car. What do you listen to?
Man, well, here's the honest answer is I try to stay up with my friends and try to stay connected in like disc golf. I like to be a content consumer before I'm a content creator. That's Jesse's line, not mine. That's too well rehearsed, right? So I listen to pretty much all of the disc golf podcasts. I listen to a lot of disc golf podcasts. But it's like, part of it is I enjoy it. I enjoy hearing my friends talk. But I also like, it feels like part of my job to do that so that I can stay connected and I know here's what people are saying and yada yada. So that's part of it. But if I'm not listening to those podcasts, I listen to a podcast called Pod Meets World. Boy Meets World is my favorite TV show of all time. And 3 of the characters from that show are rewatching episodes, like very Office Ladies. So I like that. And then the other thing that I do a lot is I listen to a lot of audiobooks. When I was in first internship right out of college was a youth ministry internship, and then my mentor Steve Browning there. And Steve set the challenge of you should read as many books at least as you are old every birth year. So that gets a little more difficult the older you get, but also if you're like better at time management. So I tried to read or listen to 31 books this year. So
That's great.
we're kind of pushing right now because my birthday is in less than a month and I'm at 26. So I'm like
Audible. Coming close.
Yeah. So these long trips actually are great. So right out of reading Mistborn into the Well of Ascension.
So you got that big old fat tree,
Yeah.
and then you got the other skinnier tree to the left of it. The basket is down the hill, almost kind of centered between those.
Okay. Gatekeeper. Kick left. Kick left. It did kick left for a Victorian. That's not it.
That'll still be a putt, tough.
Okay.
That'll still be a putt.
We laying it up? You running it? What's the vibe, bruh?
Here's the cut at that.
Have you ever put the con just for look?
Boop. Oh, and then it roll. Classic Lunas, dude.
Classic Lunas. Jake, you are still out though.
2 of them.
Some of you may have just watched that performance to Jake's Strong Playroom and be like, you're fine, Robbie, you're fine. I've been burned by him too many times. When you get strokes, you take them. You take them. All right, question 4.
Question 4.
We're actually here with the audio now.
Yeah, live, coming at you. So, big sports background, big sports family, big baseball family,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. You played a lot of sports growing up. You abruptly stopped sports in like 10th grade. Took a little break until you picked up Frisbee in college. So, from all of your sports background and the places that you've lived, how did you become an Atlanta Braves fan, Crimson Tide, and then Minnesota,
Everything else.
all other sports?
Yeah. Well, first off, when I abruptly quit sports, I started swimming competitively. So sorry to all of you. It's just as offensive still, many, many years later. Yeah. So let's see. Braves were, I mean, that's what household we were raised in.
stop the
Like
chop.
yeah, exactly. My mom and like we grew up at a baseball field. We helped create a baseball field. My mom was always keeping score. Like baseball is like ingrained in my soul. So much so that we legitimately didn't know how like the sport of football worked until I got to college. And when I moved in my freshman year, freshman roommate John Gale, he was a track guy, had already moved in, and my whole dorm was already decorated in Alabama gear. The funny part about like coming from Alabama or Georgia to Alabama is that the A is basically the same, just one of them has a mullet. So like, that's
all know
always
which
been
one
as
it
been
is.
fun. Exactly. Roll Tide. So much so that like the girl I was dating, when we rolled into Birmingham for the first time, she was like, "Oh, look, Robbie, there's Braves fans here too." And I was like, ugh, wrong A. But yeah,
A
so
for effort.
I didn't realize like that I was stepping into what I was stepping into. So I essentially signed up for another class that day when I moved in with my roommate that was Alabama football. So I learned football through the lens of the University of Alabama. So those two were just like the same thing to me. So the next year I was like, oh, I want to get to the NFL. That sounds fun, but I don't really have a team, but I'm an Alabama fan now, and that's a lot of bandwagon points.
Yeah.
Like they're good.
Just go Patriots then.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Patriots, give me the Miami Heat at the time, like just lean into it. So it's like, I want to be into the NFL. And so the Vikings were not great. So I didn't want to cheer for like a terrible team because I knew that wouldn't really motivate me, but I wanted to cheer for a great team either. So they were middle of the road, and their offensive scheme was the exact same as what Alabama did at the time, because you just turn around and hand the ball to the running back and watch him go.
Okay.
That was Adrian Peterson. And go big or stay home. I was like, okay, I'm a football guy. I'm a Vikings fan. And then years later, I got into the NBA. I became a Timberwolves fan. I got into the hockey, got into wild. So I just have acquired, when I've gone into other sports, I've been like, oh, Minnesota has all of them. So the Vikings break my heart unfortunately, I picked probably the two least clutch cities in sports.
Yeah, I don't know. Atlanta might have you beat with the Falcons.
That's fair.
Just
Well,
maybe.
The
I don't know.
Vikings have only made 4 Super Bowls, but at least we didn't blow one 28-3. That's tough. It's up the hill. It's like making its way up the hill to
Okay.
the left. It doesn't feel 385, so I'm gonna go eagle and just trying to pump it out there and then let it get back. That's the goal. Okay, it got out there, and I'm throwing from the 228-foot tee box now.
She have a wide open look though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna have a wide open look. Okay, 210 feet. Throwing reactor, and we're just gonna try to pull it. So short. That's fine.
Is it me?
It is you.
Okay.
Jake was in the jungle. For reference, he was back there. We literally could not see him, and he pitched out to here.
You could hear my lament.
Basket's like,
There we go. Just go
Here?
and sit.
I think that should be fine.
Feels all right. There you go. He sat.
Let's go. Great putt, dude.
Whew. Thank you. Felt nice. Get one in there. So,
Hole 5? Yeah,
Hole five.
hole 5.
you got a lot of frisbees. Right, got a lot of frisbees. Some are lucky enough to be on the wall behind you.
Yeah.
Other ones are in the like the house fire shelf.
Yeah.
So there are some that are obviously a little more special to you than others.
Yeah.
What is the most sentimental disc, if you had to narrow it down to one, in your collection?
Man, you would think, based on the fact that I've done these interviews, I would have prepped for this question. And then when you started, I was like, oh yeah, that's something I ask. Honestly, at this point, I don't know that it's one that doesn't get thrown. Like, I think the Precious Child probably has like the most memories, the most like, because I think about like my last MA1 win that I ever had was I went to a playoff with this dude named Brian, and I threw Precious Child and parked it, and then he threw his shot, and then like, so we had to redo the hole because we both took a 2. And then I threw Precious Child, and you would have thought it was like I like copy and pasted the shot, and he was like, literally said, "That's not fair." And I was like,
Sorry.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So I think Precious Child for sure, which makes me think there's this like world of, I love that disc so much, and it's like has this special connection. Like at this point when people meet me, they're like, "Oh, can I hold Precious Child?" Like things like that, which does feel like a kid. Although I don't know if strangers walk up and they're like, "Oh, hey, can I hold your kid?"
Depending on where you are, that can happen.
Okay, touche,
Yes.
touche. 339, and we're trying to go down and just a little to the right.
Barely to the right.
Okay. It's more so because I put a Newfoundland in the bag. I keep looking past this purple rim because I keep looking for the white, not the like hard purple.
So are you gonna flex this thing?
No, I think I'm just gonna throw it as a beamer straight at the ground.
Okay. Get it.
That's the goal.
I didn't want to get in your head too much, but I almost said interesting.
To be fair, that is my first throw at that disc
Okay.
ever. So
That's true. Oh,
yeah.
wanted you to miss that.
So the only really shot in here, gentlemen and ladies watching, is some form of like get out. There's not really room to like air shot a flex, so.
All right.
But the hole is literally called Swamp Jump. Okay. Dennis. Okay, that's called being afraid of water that shouldn't come into play. There it is. Good shot.
Good shot.
I told Jake when we were walking up this is the negative of playing a course blind is you realize like that pig shot that I threw afterwards, I cannot park the basket with that pig shot. So by pressing the gas on a course that you don't know, that's kind of the risk you run is like, sometimes you just got to back off. It's just finding how comfortable are you just taking a bunch of pars on holes you may be able to birdie.
Okay, hole 6, question 6. So we talked about you're like, go big or stay home. If you're gonna get into something, you're gonna do a lot of research. You're gonna know a lot about it. And as a Crawford, you're gonna have a lot of opinions about it, and you're gonna feel very strongly about those opinions.
Amen.
So what is something that you're a snob about, but you're totally okay with it and are willing to die on that hill?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Inside of disc golf, I think I end up feeling like a course design snob, but I don't think that I am as much a course design snob as a lot of people, because I have opinions on courses. Here's my biggest like course design, like where I find my snobbery, is when a course has set like a certain vibe, and then they just drop in a random hole that feels like it doesn't belong at all. But something else that I'm a snob in that I'm happy being a snob in. Like defending the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
I would say I have studied that franchise a lot. And I'm not even a car guy. That's the crazy part, which a lot of you are like looking at it like, oh, Fast and Furious isn't a car franchise anymore. That's true. It's action comedy. It's all about family. Connor Kennedy can attest. You get me going on Fast and Furious, I don't stop for a while.
There you go.
So yeah, Fast and Furious. Like I'm trying to think of like,
Typical
the usual
snob things.
snob stuff.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee. I'm definitely not a board game snob. I may answer this as the videos go on.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Hey.
feels good.
That's a gap.
All right. That's beautiful. Yep.
Ozone. Heck.
Get up.
Okay, let's do something silly. Nah, we won't do something too silly.
Stay out of the green. Oh, that's beautiful. Get in. Oh! No way! That's so sick.
Yeah.
That's an eagle. Oh
That's so
my
silly.
gosh.
I would have loved it if you would have also.
I was like,
thrown
not
it.
everybody can just throw it in.
This man likes to
Hey,
commit.
if it
on
works,
his
it
putts.
works, man. Okay.
Hole 7.
All right, hole 7, here we are. After that 6th throw, that's so great. So fantastic. So lots of different people out there, all kinds of different folks. Some people, you know, whatever, lots of different personalities. So personality tests, take them or leave them. Which one's the best with your snobbery about it? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, honestly, if there is something that like I do have snobbery about, it's this stuff, and that like every personality assessment that's well versed is going to have a section basically dedicated to the people that are like, oh, I don't do personality assessments, and you can't pin me behind a box, and like that's fine. Like I get it. Everyone wants to feel unique, right? Like I don't think anyone ever wakes up in the morning and they're like, you know what I want to be today, just like everybody else. That sounds ideal. But if you are, you're probably going to let me know in the comments. So thank you to you, Bob. So I'm certified in 3 of them. I'm certified in the Myers-Briggs, I'm certified in StrengthsFinder, and I'm certified in the Enneagram to like teach and train on all that. I actually before I really launched this channel, I did like training sessions. Companies would bring me in to teach the Enneagram. I like the Enneagram a lot just because the Enneagram is so like robust.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of things where like you see behaviors, and the Enneagram talks about like what you're doing when you're healthy and when you're not healthy. It talks about having wings and connections. So I think about like for you as a 2, like, right? Like there's this desire to help. There's this innate feeling inside of you to help. And so when you know that about a person, it's not that you want to like pigeonhole them or use it as a weapon against them. It just helps you understand and honestly care for the people in your life more when you know more about it. So that's why I personally love assessments. It's because people are so confusing. So any tools that we can get to like better understand people is helpful. Wow. That's why you do the things you do. Okay, 330 feet, a lot of elevation change. And by that, I mean goose egg. 330, don't fix what ain't broke. We're gonna go ozone again. Try to put it on a little more hyzer. I may try to pull it on the right side. I kind of like that right gap more than I like the left gap because there's just more swing error.
Yeah.
And if it hits the right, because I pull it too much, it can kick left. Or I'm just gonna go right down the gut.
Get through it. Trees are 90% air. Oh, dirty.
Trash pan ozone. Never belittle a shot in the middle.
All right.
There it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, short.
That's fine, though. We're on the dance floor.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know when this video is going to drop for you guys that are watching it as you, like current watchers.
Well, the theme of the last 2 holes is throw an ozone off the tee.
Throw an
and you only
ozone
gotta
off the
throw
tee.
2 shots that hole.
Yeah.
Hole 8.
8.
So
Only 2 more in this video.
next question, current irrational fear, biggest irrational fear, but it's got to be a current one. I'm not talking about poison ivy,
Yeah,
anything like that. So
that's true, man. That one is. I mean, I would say poison ivy is still there. I just
fair.
worry. I have an alarm system that I'm in charge of now, so I don't have to worry about it as much.
to clarify, that's the character, not the leafy green.
Yeah, I could care less about the leafy green. I'm specifically worried about Uma Thurman, poison ivy. But yeah, current irrational fear.
Irrational fear.
You know what? I have a dream at least once a month. At least once a month. That like it feels so real. I wake up and zombies have broken into my house.
All right.
But it's like it's so real because it's not like, oh, I'm in some zombie apocalypse in like a warehouse or something. Like it's literally
It's your house.
my house.
Yeah.
Like what wakes me up in the dream. The dream starts with me waking up to my alarm going off,
Okay.
which is obviously sound,
Yeah.
which draws more of them in.
So
Like it's
just the
terrifying.
worst case
Yeah.
scenario
And I have
for that.
terrible eyesight. Like someone stopped Carrie. I don't know if you were gonna end up watching this video, but Carrie, we met him a few holes ago, and he was like, "Oh, you normally wear glasses when you do your stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, if I'm not playing." But I have terrible eyesight. Terrible eyesight. So like I also am panicking in those moments because it's like blurs.
840 feet.
Oh, par 5.
840 feet. So I don't know what it is to there. I'm not the greatest at that. Maybe 550. See that big shadow stripe out there?
Yeah.
So that you want to be maybe like 30 feet past that, because there's this whole grove of trees
Okay.
that we're going to go around and then up the hill.
I'm gonna go eagle just to be safe. Because it's par 5. So I can go 1 to here, 2 up to the grove, 3 around
Yeah.
for the birdie.
And you're still a birdie, yeah. Yeah, that'll totally play.
Join me, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope, too high. Well, I'll end up going through it with you.
Hey-o. Problem here, low ceiling into low ceiling. Yeah, a little low power. I think it's actually just you, buddy.
Eagle, eagle.
Yeah. 2 inside. Yeah. That's gonna be tough. That's rude. That was such a rude branch.
Nice. That's fantastic. Yep.
Okay.
Good shot.
It definitely has more glide than the pig.
All right.
That's a tough line.
That's a long putt.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. That one slipped out a little early.
All right. It's framed up nicely. I just didn't have any faith in that.
It's downhill, Robert. It's downhill. What are you doing? You missed low on a downhill putt. Hole 9, last one of the video.
Hole
Of this one.
9. So the sport is growing. And I remember I had this professor in undergrad, and I still think about this because he's like, as you grow, you also have to develop. Because if you grow and you don't develop, then you would just be, physically, you would just be a giant baby, right? So like, but then you have to develop, and you can't just develop and not grow, because then you'd, you know. So anyway, so as the sport grows, you want it to develop and change. And so how do you see your role within the sport changing as it grows and develops and you grow and develop?
Yeah.
What do you see that looking like?
Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure, because I found myself conveniently riding the COVID increase, right? Like,
Sure.
So my goal when I started the channel was I wanted to work with beginners. I want to help beginners improve one stroke at a time. And it was a twofold thing. One, I'm super passionate about new people coming into the sport, so I think that matters. And also, if new people don't come into the sport, we're in trouble.
Sure.
But I also was like, if I make myself the beginner guy, like I'm focused on beginners, then I think that it will, like there should always in theory be new beginners. And my dream when I started the channel was that like, oh, you're going to introduce people to disc golf. You're going to send them, oh, you're going to go play? Go check out Robbie C. So then they learn, and that was hopefully helpful for them. So then when they bring new players in the sport, oh, go check out Robbie C. We watched a lot of Rick Shields to like see that with golf, right? That was kind of, I wanted to be the Rick Shields. Yeah.
You never played before, this is how you do it.
Yeah. So that was the goal. I think as the sport evolves and as I evolve, I really have thought about like almost making another channel inside of disc golf that is much more of like the challenges and those types of things.
Okay.
So that
Like
it's
less instructional, you're
Yeah,
saying, or
less
more
in-
challenging content?
I would say less instructional,
Okay.
because I think there are people that stick around that like they've evolved past what I'm traditionally teaching on the channel. And you know, long time, you can learn from anyone. That's always been our hope and our prayer. So I think that there's still stuff packed into videos that like little nugget that you could use. But I totally get it if people are like trying to sift away from that. And I think that part of why my viewership has gone down is because we have less new players
Sure. Compared to
influxing
COVID.
into the sport.
Yeah.
So, but there's faithfuls or things like that. And it's like, could we be entertaining enough to do challenges and things like that? So I think that my role inside of the sport is evolving into more so of a how do I stay connected with an audience that may actually like want to actually be here, but it gets a lot to sift through a lot of meh.
Sure.
Like a
'Cause you
lot of
almost-
content that you don't think you need.
Yeah, like you almost want your target audience to outgrow you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I definitely do.
So
yeah.
it's this weird working yourself out of a job kind of
Yeah.
situation.
Because I like great examples. I have 3 moderators in the Birdie fam, and like they will tell you like there is lots of content that they won't watch on my channel because of the fact that like you're getting a tip for your first tournament. Well,
Yeah.
they all play tournaments,
Right.
so like
Yeah.
they don't really need that tip type
Yeah.
deal. So I would always want to spin it to still be somewhat educational.
Right. Because you can learn even
Yeah.
from like silly stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I don't know. Let us know, comments. Let us know. Where do you see Robbie C fitting into the sport as it grows?
Yeah.
I would be very curious.
And where do you want to see it fit in as you grow?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Whack. I think it just on the
It
other
didn't
side
even
of the
come
tree.
down.
Yeah. I think it just cut through the other side.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Halo orc in a tree. Yeah. You
Just
just
be
poke
kind.
it.
Push it farther. Hit it. There you go. Not backwards.
Ooh, tough look, dude.
Oh, and I do the same thing.
Yeah, you're losing it behind you. No wrist. I think we're gonna go trimmer. Hyzer through. Yeah. The problem is I've got a branch right in my way. So I think we just play for the par and we just forehander around and pitch her up. And that's not even the branch that we were worried about.
I'm gonna miss that too. Okay, all right.
Camera's angled so that it doesn't fall down the hill. I'm gonna go dune because I want a little more hyzer out of the finish.
This should be great. Yeah, nice shot.
Woo!
Yeah,
Nice.
Good shot.
Gross. Should have given it a little more, okay?
Oh, looks the same on the scorecard.
We got to give the putts a chance. That is gonna wrap it up for the front 9. Final thoughts before we head to the back?
Such a beautiful day to be outside. I'm just thankful.
Yeah.
Good to be here with you, man.
Come on, brother. All right, much love, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please make it fantastic for someone else too. But for now, we're gonna leave you with the birdie.